Hello everybody! We've got a brand new roller coaster, a brand new restaurant, and a brand new attraction. All this and more on this week's weekly news update. First up in the news today is the brand new roller coaster that's going to be coming to SeaWorld. We've got a full actual video on it now, a teaser from SeaWorld that's been released, and it's called The Power of the Pacific. They are calling it a surf coaster, which apparently you're going to be standing up on the roller coaster. So this will be the first standing roller coaster at SeaWorld. I've only ever ridden on one other stand-up roller coaster before in my life, and that was the King Cobra at Kings Island in Cincinnati, Ohio, which they retired. Fun fact, I once rode the King Cobra 47 times in one day. Me and a buddy of mine decided we were going to see how many times we could ride it in a row, and we got up to 47 times. So honestly, that's a blast from the past. That ride doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm kind of excited to see what the stand-up roller coaster is all about. I haven't been on one in a long time. So a surf coaster, Power of the Pacific, coming to SeaWorld. No release date as of yet, but they have finally acknowledged it and actually did a little teaser video, so pretty exciting.
At the Caribbean Beach Resort, the pirate rooms have been discontinued.
Yeah, they're going to be going away.
Yeah.
So you can't book them anymore.
They're so cute, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't really know why. People are speculating it's one of two reasons. One is that the beds were super uncomfortable. I don't really know that it makes sense, though, because can't they just swap the beds out? Or, swap the mattresses out? Something. And the other speculation is that they just weren't booking the pirate rooms. I guess maybe they just weren't popular enough to warrant the price increase because those rooms were more expensive. I don't know. We never actually stayed at one of the pirate rooms, so I'm kind of sick about it now because it looked really cute, but
yeah, they did.
Apparently they're going away. Good news about the International Food and Garden Festival, which doesn't exist. Apparently, Disney misreferred to their own Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival as the International Food and Garden Festival. On one of their Shop Disney posts for the orange Florida bird figurine, there was a misrepresentation on the actual product description, and it said it was for the International Food and Garden Festival. And I know this isn't really big news, but I wanted to put it in here because I find it hilarious because for some reason I have the hardest time saying Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. It always throws me off because I feel like all the other festivals are International Festival of. We've got things like the Festival of the Arts, we've got the Festival of the Holidays, we have the Food and Wine Festival, which is a little bit different, but it just is easy to say. And then there's the Flower and Garden Festival. I don't know why. For some reason, I was having the hardest time saying it. I kept messing up the Flower and Garden Festival name for a long time. So I just think it's hilarious that Disney even messed it up.
There is a new restaurant coming to Disney Springs. It says Summer House on the Lake.
Summer House on the Lake. It's formerly where the Beatrix restaurant was supposed to be. So Beatrix was supposed to be like sort of a health food restaurant that was going to be coming right there between the food trucks and, is it Haleo? I don't know how to pronounce the name of that restaurant. That Jaleo, Haleo, whatever, right there by the food trucks. So when Beatrix essentially came out and said, hey, no, we're no longer going to be putting a restaurant there, people were wondering what was going on with it. People were excited about that restaurant. So instead, Summer House on the Lake is coming, which they actually have two other properties. Summer House by the Lake, which is actually called Summer House Santa Monica. So it's a California-inspired cuisine. It's interesting to me because the two locations they have are Chicago and Maryland, North Bethesda. So I don't really understand why it's like California cuisine, but it's not even in California. It says Santa Monica, which is obviously California. So it's kind of weird, but it is going to be coming. The types of food they have, it's interesting. You can tell that the restaurant itself is supposed to be very California-like. It's very like clean lines, very light colors, bright. And then the food is odd. It's kind of like pizza, pasta. It's got tacos. It's got a wood-grilled like chicken and steaks. It's got a raw bar. You know what it honestly reminds me of? It reminds me of all those restaurants in Miami. all those like restaurants in Miami that have just like a bunch of different things from different different cuisine types, and kind of like probably not that great. So all the restaurants were the same in Miami, which was all the ones along the beach, so very touristy. So I don't know if it's going to be good or not. It looks interesting. We're not really fancy people. It looks fancy-ish, but the prices didn't seem very fancy. So I don't know. We may give it a try. We'll probably give it a try when it opens. We'll let you know if it's any good. Another piece of news is Tron Lightcycle Run now has its canopies illuminated on and off. So they're actually doing additional testing on the ride. It seems like right now Tron Lightcycle, the majority of the work that is left to do that we can see is just like the outside like bushes and trees, like making it look pretty, because it seems like the track and the ride itself are pretty much done. Now I don't know what's inside the building, but it seems to be coming along. So interesting. The canopies have been lit up here and there, so we'll see if we can actually get a shot of them lit up the next time we're there. But good news, because it's coming along, and this has been the longest. I think I read a stat that said it's taken longer to build Tron Lightcycle Run than it did to build the entire Magic Kingdom the first time around. Obviously, COVID put a damper in that, but still, numbers are numbers.
There was a large crane spotted at Blizzard Beach.
We don't know what it is. Speculating that it is a brand new attraction coming to Blizzard Beach based on the permits that have been filed. It could be that they're just changing something or adding something to an existing attraction. But there's a lot of speculation that it could be a completely brand new attraction at Blizzard Beach. And honestly, it needs it. I think Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, I love them. But once Volcano Bay came along, it kind of knocked them out. It knocked them out. Like we rarely even go to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach anymore because Volcano Bay is so great. I still have heart for Typhoon Lagoon's wave pool though. There's really nothing like it. It's pretty epic. And then I do love the Blizzard Beach facade, so it is a cute park. Great news, and something I'm super excited about is Finding Nemo. The Big Blue and Beyond has finally started its cast member previews. We've seen a little bit of it so far. We actually have time to go there tomorrow to actually see the show, and I am pumped about it. Good news, it is finally back.
They are testing drones in Disneyland, which means there could be a new fireworks show, or they could be, added into the fireworks show.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of hoping for a new fireworks show. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I want, because Enchantment has grown on me quite a bit. I was sick about Happily Ever after going away. I was sick about Wishes going away. I still don't think Enchantment is as good as either one of those, but it has grown on me at least. I do enjoy the show now. But the drones testing is really interesting. They've been talking about it for a while, and they've actually been seen in the sky, giant Mickey shapes, Mickey ears in the sky in Disneyland. They've been testing the drones, so they could easily add in drones, sort of like drone patterns and things like that in the existing fireworks shows. They could do like a pre-show where they kind of illuminate the castle. So we'll see.
I'm pretty sure they're doing drones in the new fireworks show at Kings Island.
Are they? We're definitely gonna have to check that out when we get back there. I'm excited. So we'll do a video on that too, so stay tuned for that. So interesting. We'll let you know more as soon as we know, but could mean new fireworks stuff or a new fireworks show coming with the drones that are testing in Disneyland. Hasn't quite made its way to Disney World yet. An interesting piece of news and kind of a crazy piece of news is that Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, is the hottest ticket to try to get at Epcot right now, really in Disney anywhere. And so trying to get that pass to get in line, because there's no standby line for Cosmic Rewind. It is either Virtual Pass or Lightning Pass. And those things sell out in like a second. What's interesting is that the 1 p.m. slot has not been selling out very quickly, which is kind of crazy to me. A couple of days ago when we checked, there were still passes for the 1 p.m. show available an hour after 1 p.m. So like 2 o'clock, you could still get a pass. What's up with that? I'm shocked. So I don't know if that means the rush is over, the mad rush is over, or what's going on, but it could mean that the virtual pass system might actually go away for Cosmic Rewind pretty soon if that continues to be the case. they may just switch over to standby. So as soon as we find out, as soon as the virtual queue drops, or what that means, we will let you know. The last piece of news is for Universal Studios, and that is that Super Nintendo World finally is going to be released. It has a timeline now in in Universal Studios Hollywood. It is slated to currently launch in early 2023. Super Nintendo World will actually be going live early 2023. I mean, that's not that long from now. That's like a handful of months. And so that's going to give us a great glimpse into what they're going to be bringing to Epic Universe. Now, there is already Super Nintendo World over in Japan that you can also see, but the version in Hollywood Studios, I think, will be probably the most representative of what we might start to see in Epic Universe. So I'm excited. I think we're going to get a lot more footage, a lot more information once the one in Hollywood drops for what we're actually may get in Epic Universe. So I cannot be more excited. It's really cool. Super Nintendo World looks awesome. I grew up in the era of Super Nintendo, so for me, like seeing the Yoshi rides, the chain chomps, the piranha plants, the Goombas, you know, Mario, the boxes that you punch, the question boxes, item boxes. I just think it looks really cute. It's probably the cutest land I've ever seen. It just looks adorable. Like, it literally looks like you're walking through a virtual Nintendo land. Like, it's so cool. So that's all the news we have for you today. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. We will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Until then, the Noble Way
is the easy way.
Bye-bye, everybody.